March and Abed to move around. We saw Zephyr have some amazing games on the Lina yesterday. We'll see if he can have quite the same impact here on the other sister, picking up the Crystal Maiden. And I'm just interested to see who's playing in what lane, because I think putting the CM in the off lane might put a little bit more like kill pressure on the Lycan, but the Bounty Hunter to me seems a little bit more annoying in terms of just constantly pinching that gold and slowing down his game a little bit. So
prepare for battle.
We will just have to wait and see how they end up playing this. But it does seem like for now Zephyr going to be heading to the off lane, and March is going to be playing that safe lane with the Morphling. So they've at least kind of got another way to set this up. Compared to Boom, who I think are very much stuck with the lanes that they have. Looks like they are thinking about running Kezcute down here, at least initially, but I just don't know how long he can stick around. Again, the Timber doesn't want anyone touching any of his experience whatsoever. Just wants you to stay well clear. I believe over in the NA-SA region today, we had nothing but 2-0s. Yesterday for SEA was almost all 1-1s. We had Among Us versus TNC, Boom versus Neon, Signal versus Army Geniuses, and then the only 2-0 was Star versus Adroit. I do wonder if I'm maybe, like, Tide is so good late game, but the Elder Titan has proved to be this X factor in a lot of the games that he's been in. We saw the KP Elder Titan yesterday. Didn't end up winning, but was still very, very powerful, even with without a whole lot of net worth. So could see the same kind of thing from your position 5 ET here for Kezcute, but pretty good block for Mikoto. I believe we just had a 2-2 split on the bounties. There wasn't really any interesting brawling going on there at the start of the game, and we will just have to see how these lanes start out. I believe Zephyr starting with I thought he had double sentry, but it looks like maybe he's just got the one. Nothing's been blocked out or anything anywhere, and Zephyr not revealing his position just yet. Kezcute and Dreamacell seem to think that he was over in the trees on this side. Now getting gone on a little bit. They're sicking the wolves on him. Zephyr just going to try and stay with his Tide for now, but it's going to get pushed all the way back in the lane. At bottom, FBZ opting for the point in the Whirling Death right at the beginning, as March is just chasing after Hyde, but they do both have boots. So March not able to just stay right on top of him. And Hyde, we've seen this from him before. He's been really effective when it comes to sniping these couriers on the Mirana. Though this time around, it's actually Kezcute getting one, and he's going after the other. Don't know if he's willing to dive the tower for that one. So there you go. March is still just waiting to, if you're the kind of guy that's sniping couriers as much as March is, you're definitely thinking about somebody else trying to snipe your courier. So. And inYourdreaM already has, as soon as he gets this next one, he's going to have more CS than Dreamacell did on the Morphling at 5 minutes yesterday. So goes without saying that that is a much, 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 much better start than what we saw. Do we have any big, long item builds queued up anywhere? Morphling actually copping an arrow. They're taking a lot of damage. inYourdreaM getting sent hacking back, and it's actually a first blood at top as Kezcute gets brought down. Looks like just the gush plus the nukes from the Crystal Maiden gonna knock him down there. And March finds his first courier snipe of the game, does manage to scoot past and grab hides. And now looking to tax him a little more down here. Regen situation, I don't know if it's all that great in this lane. There's still a salve on FBZ, but that is about the limit of it. inYourdreaM just using the nukes to secure CS. I really don't think they have a whole ton of kill potential down here, but March being a big nuisance. How is the mid lane going? Abed's kind of low and does seem to be struggling a little bit on CS, holding his own on the denies, and I believe his bottle is coming out to him shortly, but these Psyblades are nailing him. At least he's got the Resonant Pulse back up soon, but yeah, Mikoto is really giving him what for. Though I think for Abed more than anything, this lane is about just getting your experience, trying to claim a little bit of rune control, and then really hoping to move around the map, especially with the track, and just find ganks. Mikoto is just completely bullying him out of this lane. And March, all right, has to go back for that CS, but FBZ gets the deny. inYourdreaM with the little side pull. Hyde is kind of low here. March is pinging it. He's about to crack level 3. How much mana does level 1 Shuriken toss? He's just got enough. Hyde's chasing after couriers. Leap. I don't even need to use another one. There you go. Well, March this time around. Hyde will claim his revenge. Courier battle continues. Cuckoo already has the full Soul Ring picked up. He's going to be buying a Vlad's. You know, nothing too shocking going on for the Tide Hunter early on here. And March is still just chasing Hyde around. Wait, did he arrow a camp or did he... Yeah, he arrowed the camp. I was wondering if he'd tried to hit Abed with the arrow, but... Nope. Not so. Well, that does mean bottom lane just kind of a 1v1 for now. 19-3 up against the 13-2. Regeneration. March snags the regen and continues to chase. He really wishes that he had level 3. I think he might even have kill potential at that point, but just a bit too short on the experience. Kezcute looking for the pull. Just gonna get it. That's not stacked or anything, unfortunately. How is Dreamacell doing? So 19 CS. Not too bad. Cuckoo is having total free reign up here as the Tide Hunter, though. This goes back to what I was talking about. There just wasn't really any other way for Boom to set their lanes. I'm still down with the Lycan pick in the sense of, look, it's going to play fast. It's going to give them the opportunity to maybe close this game out pretty quickly, but it's maybe a slight concern. Actually, the second point in Janata for March. It's a slight concern that they've had to deal with this double melee lane into the Tide because Cuckoo is just gonna, yeah, he's gonna just keep being a bully this entire game. Ooh, Kezcute, is this a triple stack? Oh, it's only a double. I hyped it up too much, but this is still a ton of farm for the TA. inYourdreaM a little low at bottom, just trying to sustain with the Morbid Mask. Hyde is in the neighborhood, but March coming down to scout it out as well. Do we have anything? Doesn't look like anything too interesting happened on the bounty runes there. It's really storming here, folks. FBZ, pressure. He's got the Orb of Venom, so doing a little bit of work. The insanely short-range arrow as March's courier is going to end up being brought down once again. At least he managed to grab his items off of that, but FBZ with these 3 points up in the reactive armor is just being a huge nuisance. Doesn't have Soul Ring or anything just yet. He's relying on mangoes for some mana sustain. Chasing after March. They do have the double dust on Hyde, but I think unless they nail him with an arrow, it's not really gonna end up doing anything. And as the 6-minute rune spawns, it will just end up being Kezcute grabbing it. The stacks are still yet to be claimed, and they are making 100% sure that they are in control of this area. They've got an Obs plus Sentry combo. But Zephyr's going to come over and check this out. He sees all of the stacks, and I don't know who he can call into position. Maybe once Cuckoo gets level 6, they can make some kind of a Ravage play to those stacks and try and steal them with the Anchor Smash. They really do not want to let the TA just have these for free. Mikoto's just getting his tread shipped out, so as soon as he has those, it's going to make it a little easier. But yeah, Zephyr doesn't have a ward or anything, so all he can do is really just kind of nuke to get a little bit of information. Gonna try and swipe some experience out of this, but there was a trap waiting for him on the cliff, so I think instead he's just going to be added to the farm total for Boom, even kind of wasting a Fairy Fire there. March also coming in, at least he snipes the courier. Trying to get the stomp onto him. Looks like Division just kind of out of range there. So March still hanging around. Abed a little bit low on mana, but coming in anyway, and Cuckoo also making their rotation. They've got the Ravage, not the easiest to go onto Mikoto as they look for another stomp, and he's going to catch Cuckoo, but he immediately Kraken shells it off. Abed, however, not so lucky, and here comes the Chakram damage. Can he escape, dissimulate down onto the low ground? And the Cuckoo also trying for a TP out, but just barely gets finished off. Too much damage. March now getting caught. They have defended these stacks with their lives, and they're also going to claim 2 kills out of it. And I love the way that Boom played this. Just very careful. You know, they didn't let them scout it. They had the ward. They had the side trap. They had the 2 sentries. This was a huge portion of what Kezcute accomplished in the early game, so it was much needed that they made sure that they actually cleared these stacks themselves. Okay, so Tia's doing great. Now, the game plan for Boom very much just like blink Deso on the TA, get the Necrobook on the Lycan, take the Roche, etc., get the push going, take one fight into Ravage. They might even go even and then just respawn, and then while the Ravage is on cooldown, they can just go from there. March is still scouting around. He's only level 3 currently, so not as good level-wise as that game that we saw against TNC, but he is on a complete courier spree thus far. Is FBZ actually going to just send his all the way over to the tree line to avoid it? Yeah, they're pinging like they know that there's a ward here, so...
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
The one downside of a ward like this is that it's not really giving them any useful information on hero rotation, since Boom are, for the most part, just crossing the river as much as they want. And bottom tower already dead. Dreamicell's got the Necrobook back up in 10 seconds time, so I think they might just go straight over to mid. The pings are kind of coming that way, and FBZ and Hyde already moving into position. It's tricky for Cuckoo this game because I don't feel like he can really use the Ravage all that freely. Like I'm saying, if he ever uses a Ravage and it only gets them like 1 kill, then that's when Boom are just going to go running immediately at a tower. And you know, Dreamicell's even still just pressuring bottom. The Glyph is going to come out. FBZ's got max stacks currently, so not going to be the easiest, but they are still going to make a go onto him. A little bit of damage from that Whirling Death. Ravage also going to get popped. Can they finish the job? 2-man stomp. FBZ gets out of there, but the Timber Chain into the follow-up Whirling Death. inYourdreaM makes the rotation, and they do get that kill. Oh, that would have been so bad if he had managed to get away, but only the 1 point in the Timber Chain, so there was really only so far he could go. Okay, so they get that at least, but Dreamicell knowing that, okay, Ravage is on cooldown, I can just do whatever I want down here. Mikoto is rushing the Deso. Doesn't really need the survivability from the Blink, so this is definitely a farmier option. Abed just cruises on in here and looks like he's going to grab both of these bounties. And Dreamicell actually just getting surrounded now. He's gonna pop the ultimate to try and fight his way out. Abed needs to land this bird. He actually managed to do it, and the nukes are huge. Among Us just bring him down. Oh, well, he thought that he was safe with the Ravage on cooldown and playing all the way on this side of the map, but
Radiant's middle tower
turns out to not be the case, and that is a really nice pick off for them to get. Still, you know, the TA is scary, and they are still gonna have to deal with that timing, but across the board, they're doing well. Net worth slightly in their favor, and the win probability has actually been liking them this entire time. Abed already with the full Spirit Vessel. Only the 2 charges, but this is probably one of the most like eco Spirit Vessel rushes I've seen on the Void Spirit for a little while. I feel like there's often, you know, he hasn't even got the full wand, he hasn't gone for a single null. Really wanted this vessel just as fast as humanly possible. But I think it's gonna pay dividends in these upcoming fights, and every little kill that they can get in these early fights, especially with the track, is going to be so important. It does also mean that Boom, they can't be too they got to be careful in terms of which fights they take, you know, which pickoffs they give away. They can't really be satisfied with just taking like a, you know, 1 for 1, 2 for 2, because Among Us are always going to be kind of getting the advantage there. March may be realizing that there is a sentry in this area, but not the easiest for him to go and deal with that. Alright, deal with the trap first. Hyde's gonna come over and just get rid of his sentry. What do we got? We got Necro 2 already up on the Lycan. As I'm saying, this timing is starting to come together. FBZ just gonna be going for a hood, not necessarily all that farmed. Cuckoo does have the Ravage back up in about 5 seconds time, so might be some fighting opportunity here for Among Us, and they are setting up for it right now. They've got pretty much everybody mid, but inYourdreaM is still off doing his own thing. Does just have the Manta queued up currently, which I find a little interesting. There isn't really that much to dodge or dispel. The extra damage instances sure are useful against the TA, who is now getting gone on. Mikoto getting dragged back in, doesn't have the refraction charges, gets it back up now, but it is getting worked through pretty quickly. Abed still diving for this kill. The Earth Splitter breaking up the fight. Cuckoo just gonna pop the Ravage to ensure that kill. Zephyr finds a great opportunity to use the freezing field. He's not even dead just yet. Kezcube manages to avoid a few of those pops. Cuckoo still diving this tier 2 tower, doing some good damage, though. Looks like Abed should still be okay. 2 for 1 thus far, but Dreamicell is here to clean up. He focuses down March first. Abed just needs to survive for a second so he can get this next Astral Step off. Actually goes back in to try and get the hide kill. I guess realizing that he was going to get chased down by Dreamicell either way. There's just too much duration left on the shapeshift, so... Tried for the kill, didn't get it, and the Necro 3 proving its potency there. As Among Us actually end up losing the fight overall. Slight advantage their way for the gold, but with Ravage on cooldown, Boom have a pretty big window, so they just do whatever they want. And might even be able to go get the Roshan in this window, actually.
Radiant's middle tower
we'll just have to see. Mid-tier 1's already down, so that kind of paves the way a little bit. inYourdreaM, gotta be careful. FBZ just keeping him on his toes. It is only the 2 points in the Whirling Death, so... not the most ridiculous nukes in the world. But yeah, big question is going to be, when does this TA really start to enter the game? That death does slow her down pretty significantly. And it does seem like they're not keen to really do anything until they get this this Blink Dagger up and probably have the Lycan ulti back off cooldown. Man, Lycan ulti is really 125 seconds at level 1. Maybe there isn't as much of a window with the Ravage as you would like. FBZ, I mean, Zephyr's got the maxed out Frostbite, so it's going to do decent damage. But he's playing careful, seems to know that there's something going on here. He doesn't have any vision in the area, just has this ward. But has to know that there are heroes playing on this top side. They're just parking Cuckoo at bottom to try and defend this tier 2 for a little while longer. Dreamicell still just farming down here, kind of the natural place for him to be. Is going to go for an Echo Saber as the next pickup, which is, I don't know, a little weird. I guess maybe you can go Silver Edge later on and that helps you kill the Tide or something, but it does strike me as a little strange. I thought he would have just gone for one of the aura items next. Oop, March. Well, he tracked Makoto, is looking for him, but it does seem like he'll get away with his life this time around. He's still on the courier hunting mission. They've done a pretty good job of stopping him really having any useful vision behind these towers. So March having to start planting some pretty out there wards just to keep them on the map, especially against the Necro 3. Okay, so Ravage is up. Shapeshift is back up. Blink is on the TA. And where is the next play? FBZ's also got his Hooded Defiance, so I don't think there's really any items coming anytime soon for Boom. The Yule's on Hide is going to help solve some of those catch problems that I was talking about earlier, and March still just being such a pain in the butt. He snipes Dreamicell's courier. Makoto is still looking for him. They hit him with the scan, hit him with the dust. Can they stay on top of him? Seems like they should be able to. March trying to salve to survive. Trusty shovel, not quite trusty enough this time. And, okay, so they've at least dealt with that. And can they now get out on the map and actually do something? We've got the Manta on the Morphling. So, okay, it's Manta and then back into Shotgun in this case. Still very, very useful item for them to have. Abed... Man, every time I see Abed getting away with like the no Yules on Void Spirit, there's always some extenuating circumstances. Like this game, he has the Arcane Aura, so he can kind of get away with not having to buy a Mana Regen item. And then yesterday, I think he was playing the Void Spirit. I think that was Abed, and also didn't have to buy like a... Oh, who's dead? Cuckoo? Hello? A couple of auto attacks? I don't think the Mirana auto attacks are going to kill him. No, actually ends up surviving. And then in that game, he had like a Jelly and an Arcane Ring, so it was yeah, not the fairest comparison. But okay, Cuckoo survives, not even forced into using the Ravage. Almost has the money for a Blink Dagger in a second as well. Abed is in super deep here. What is he up to? All right, just cutting this wave. Boom, not going to be able to push mid as a result. Does seem like they've got their sights set on this bottom tower, and with a couple of TPs on cooldown, might be a bit tricky for Among Us to get down here, but those heroes are both walking into position. They're being scouted by this Dire Observer Ward up on the cliff, but March knows about it and he's going to deal with it quickly, so they can keep going for this, but tower is just melting way too fast, and instead the line's being drawn by March, marking mid, marking top, saying just get these lanes pushed out, and we'll take our next opportunity once the Tide has his Blink Dagger, presumably. Abed's still cutting waves at mid, but he's going to get Yuled up. If they can land this arrow, it should be a very easy kill. Was not expecting that catch from Hyde, and now dead for 40 seconds. Maybe Boom with a little bit of an opportunity here. Though Dreamcell not really anywhere nearby, still just sitting on top of 2.3k gold. Yeah, and both teams are already... They're already thinking about the Roshan. They know that this is the big... This is going to be the big objective that really decides this game. How these Roshan fights play out, if they can win a fight around the pit. Both teams are pretty capable of taking the Rosh, especially with Morphling going for this more physical damage-oriented build. They have kind of gone for double medallion here. It's not the worst thing in the world, but maybe a little bit of miscoordination there from Among Us. Nobody going for a 4-staff play out. I can't imagine that Boom want to just walk in there. They can kind of come over. The tricky thing is that they can come over, they can pop the Necrobook, they can sweep the high grounds for wards, and then they can kind of play this game of threatening that they're in the Roshan, but not actually being in there. The most important thing for Among Us is that they can get a track on somebody, and then that'll give them a little bit of extra information about what the Roshan status is. But it does seem like we're starting to move into a Roshan battle already. KezQ getting gone on first. Arrow trying to protect him, but inYourdreaM already nukes him down, has used the waveform. Gotta be a little careful. Hyde poking and prodding from the side. Makoto is just trying to grab those last couple of neutral items for the team. And it does grab the Imp Claw, so that's going to be pretty decent damage. And Among Us with the cross-map smoke. Boom, they seem to... I think they may have spotted this, and they think that it's heading into the Dire jungle, but actually heading over towards the triangle. And FPZ, not the best timing on that Timber Chain usage. Just instantly going to get popped. As now Among Us heading straight onto the tower.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So, okay, they're going to pressure the side lanes, try and force them back there. I don't think Makoto is really going to threaten the high ground. And
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Blink away and TP is not really a reliable strategy unless he knows exactly where the bounty hunter is. So, yeah, he's just going to have to let the wave push and then chill. Geek Fam thinking, can we get this? Hyde going to get tracked up. He does have 2 more leaps. Gush. Well, he heals up the bounty hunter, but inYourdreaM hot on his tail, and this is going to be a nice easy kill. Quick 3-man track, and Among Us, can they get anything more? Abed still just being a nuisance, constantly shoving out this mid-wave, not letting it cross the river. And yeah, Among Us into the pit they go. If they can just claim this Roshan for free, that would be huge. There is Wolf, but it immediately gets dealt with. Abed still just chasing after KezQ, creating a distraction while his team goes for the real objective. He does still have an Astral Step, so gets that bit further away, going to try and dissimulate his way up onto the high ground. Actually fakes them out, but gets trapped, not in the best position. Does keep Makoto away for a moment. The Roshan actually not going down all that quickly. And that was Abed dead for 45 seconds. Boom can clean this up very quickly. The Courier trying to scout, but it actually just gets side-bladed down. Among Us holding this high ground. Easy getting poked at, but Makoto's got a 10-second BKB, so he doesn't care. He's just going to go straight in. Cuckoo hanging on to the Ravage, can't afford to use it too early on in this fight. Crystal Maiden a little bit low on mana. Zephyr getting gone on. He does have a Ghost Scepter to survive. Still poking and prodding at Cuckoo. Dreamcell has used the ultimate. The Ravage comes out at the last moment. Zephyr jumps in, trying with the freezing field, but he ends up killing the Necrobook, and that just obliterates him. 2/3 of his HP disappears, and Boom now going to run for the pit. No worries whatsoever with the Ravage down. They are going to buy back on the Crystal Maiden. Among Us, this is not what they were hoping for when they made that initial move into the Roshan pit. Abed trying to get in there, but no, not going to be in time. Lycan picks up the Aegis, and now Boom just hoping that they can retreat cleanly out of this fight. And it seems like they're going to get out with no casualties whatsoever. And they've got bottom lane pushing in a great way. They've got mid lane pushing in fantastically. Still very close on the numbers. Net worth, experience, a little bit more in Boom's favor. But finally, the win probability. Gonna start seeing the momentum that Boom have. Though their timing is only so long. You know, once the TA BKB starts to wear down, I don't really know how much more they have after that. inYourdreaM has opted not to go back for the E-Blade, actually. Just wants the full Scotty. Is a really nice item to have against a hero like the TA. And Cuckoo also going to be going for the Heaven's Halberd here. So once those two are up, I think it is going to change things pretty significantly, but those items are still a little ways away, and Boom's moment is right now. They've actually got the shapeshift back up in 5 seconds time. Still a minute to go on the Ravage, so plenty big window for them here as they push in on the top lane. Abed just dealing with mid, desperately trying to finish up this Aghanim Scepter. It's going to both give him a little bit more survivability and a bit more control in these upcoming team fights, which really feels like they need against this Timbersaw especially. Does he even have any vessel charges? Oh, he's got one. But everybody on Among Us is sort of here to watch this tower defense. What do we got going on? There is actually still a bounty over here at bottom. Abed's going to be pretty happy to come and find that. All right. Hide. All right, you got the urn. Now he's just going back for a mech. So you can very much see that the idea is, look, we just need to push this in, if at all possible. Makoto is going to be going for a Hex. The Silver Edge strikes me as a very weird choice. Like, yes, it's good at killing Tide Hunter, I guess, but you're also playing against a Bounty Hunter. Oh, Cougar trying to TP out, but he just gets immediately Yuled. He's still getting chased. I think FBZ can finish this kill. And Makoto also finding March elsewhere on the map. Among Us getting picked apart here. He does get the blink away. Cute, I think, could have maybe canceled that, but never you mind. Man, Makoto is actually getting towards this X really quickly. Making a move over. FPZ kind of in no man's land with no mana either. Going to try for the Timber Chain away, but Abed's still right on top of him. So Among Us claim a kill. Can they all get out cleanly is going to have to be the question. inYourdreaM heading to the tree line. Cuckoo does have the Ravage, but Dream Assault's in here with the Shapeshift popped. Among Us just hiding in the trees. Cuckoo got to be a little careful. Hyde walks forward straight into the Morphling and just gets blown the heck up. And now with the Shapeshift starting to wear a little bit thin, they're actually getting caught on the way out. Unfortunately, no tracks for Among Us. Could have maybe waited for March to get into position there, but triple kill for inYourdreaM, and this Morphling really starting to find some momentum. Aegis is still up for another minute and a half, but I mean, like an Aegis, it's not really that useful, fortunately. So I guess it's got to be a Hex then go. Too much more waiting, and I think you're going to start running into problems. Cuckoo has changed his mind again in terms of the itemization. Is not going to be going for the Heaven's Halberd, which I think would have been really good. And we'll just be opting for the Shivas instead. Lycan has picked up that full Silver Edge, flying out to Dreamcell in just a moment. And now we do start to see the beginnings of these 4 stabs on Among Us. And March is going to be picking one up, and Zephyr also has one queued. And they've also got the Ags. So a couple of very nice timings, and we'll just have to see how good this Silver Edge actually ends up being. Zephyr getting gone on. Cuckoo jumps forward, trying to protect him. Does get saved by the Ghost Scepter for now, but the Hex comes through, and that is a very dead Crystal Maiden. So, sight set on the mid tower. You probably want your CM alive. I don't think you really defend this. Looks like Abed gonna go pushing out bottom. We'll need to come back and maybe grab some mana. No, actually, okay, he's coming back. That seems like they want to make some kind of a fight of this. They have eyes on the Morphling, and Boom just waiting up here on the high ground. Gonna let Dreamcell do the heavy lifting. Doesn't have the Ravage for all that much longer, but at least has the Shapeshift. They're pinging that the Tide is missing. They're aware of the fact that, look, there could be a Blink Ravage at any moment. Gotta play this in a disciplined way. Be ready with our Yule Scepters to try and disengage. They will just get out. Okay, but Among Us maybe making the somewhat unexpected play, just gonna go for the immediate smoke and running deep here. They don't really have any vision to speak of, so I guess they were just hoping that they might catch somebody cutting the top wave or something like that, but since it is really pushed out, so I don't think it would have been a crazy play at all for Boom to have like 2 heroes here and then somebody came over here to just quickly cut this wave as it was getting pushed, but instead of risking a hero, they're just using the side caps to do that. So, thinking one step ahead, and they've got a great ward along with the Moonlight Shadow leading them directly towards Among Us. They don't see them up this hill. Catch a glimpse of Cuckoo now. inYourdreaM as well, also moving across. They can kind of pincer them with the outpost a little bit. inYourdreaM, the first one spotted. March, good vision up on the high ground, but Hyde going to deal with that immediately. Both teams poking, prodding, posturing, looking for their opportunity. Mech getting delivered for Hyde. Mikoto, I mean, with a 9-second BKB and this Hex should be able to obliterate anybody in this upcoming fight.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
There is still a little bit of control to deal with him. Cuckoo again changing his mind and going back for the halberd being queued up here. He does have a lot of unspent gold. Maybe he'll grab a talisman.
Radiant's top tower
here.
is under attack.
What's the plan? No, okay, so he still has the halberd queued up, but he buys the plate mail. Boom, just slow sieging at top. Is everybody just looking for neutral items now? Yeah, alright. We got a little neutral item break. They got all the tier 3s on Boom. Among Us a little bit slower this time around in grabbing all of theirs. And kind of looking like the next Roshan is going to be the big explosive objective this game. March still not quite level 12, so they don't have the benefit of that extra track. BZ comes in. Man, this guy's got a lot of armor, especially with the craggy coat. And he's not done either. Wants the Lotus Orb after that. Lycan going to be next. And the TA, I think, having seen the Morphling going for this butterfly, is going to be going for the MKB. And, you know, MKB is the best right-click item in the game at the moment, it feels like, so I don't think anyone is all that shocked to see that getting picked up. Boom with another smoke, but Radiant Scan is going to reveal that some of this is going on. There is not a single ward on the map for Among Us currently, so just relying on scouting from their bounty hunter and playing together as a team for the most part. There's hardly any buybacks available in the game currently either, and they're sitting right on top of this observer where they get the Hex, but they don't get the follow-up arrow, so inYourdreaM's going to be okay. One step backwards, Boom just going to have to reset, and Mikoto wastes no time, just goes for the BKB and the straight TP out. They were hoping for the super fast pick on the Morphling, but as soon as they, well, one, he hexed him and then like took another second to walk around the tree to get the first auto attack off, and they didn't get the arrow off immediately, so pretty ill-fated. And now with the BKB on cooldown for another 40 seconds for the TA, Among Us feeling somewhat empowered to come and make a play, though it's pretty much max Roshan respawn, so no one really going to be benefiting too much from that one. Are we still one neutral item short on Among Us? No, they got everything. They just picked up that Quickening Charm as well. Okay.
Under attack.
So pretty nice stuff. Quickening Charm for the Void Spirit, Paladin Sword for the Morphling. He's got the full butterfly now, and you know, MKB is coming fast for the TA. Makoto's net worth is still amazing, but it'll still take him a little longer and has to think about, hey, is buyback something I still need to be considering at this point? Dream itself still one component away from the BKB, and Cuckoo changes his mind again, and it's not even the Shiva, it's just an AC instead. All right. Very indecisive. Abed wants the Shivas instead, so there you go. That's where that's going to end up being. I do think Boom could play this a little bit more aggressively if they had another offlaner than the Timber, but not really all that easy for them to set up kills. A lot of that is where this Hex is coming from on the TA, but should still be all right for them in these fights. We'll just have to see if they start getting kited once the BKBs were down. March is going to go for a Lincoln's. Kez cute, a little bit off the money there with the stomp. I think it's going to take him a very long time to get this Lincoln's. He's even just rocking the Vampire Fangs currently. I think more for the vision than anything else. Oh, all right, Hyde is dead. Abed making quick work of him, and actually picking up a gem on the side of Among Us as well. So, like I showed earlier, they don't have a whole lot of warding going on, so anything to reclaim a little bit of map control, and they could honestly lose the entire game off of just a wolf scouting them as they go for a smoke. So I think very important that they've got this gem picked up. Man, and Abed's got an arcane rune as well in his bottle. Okay, you don't want to fight that. Does Dream have the BKB? Not quite. Very, very close. I guess that has to kind of be the timing. Do have that full MKB up for the Templar Assassin. Roshan spawned and Boom just kind of taking a nap over by the shade of their tier 2 tower. They're not coming over just yet. And with the minus armor, Among Us actually able to bring this down pretty quickly. FBZ coming over. He might be the first one into the fray, but it's just a little too late. Aegis is already being claimed. He walks straight into the silence. So just going to keep on getting auto attack down by inYourdreaM. Popping everything. The Ravage connecting on basically nothing. As Dreamcell going to keep on going for Cuckoo. Not sure if the Tide's really all that important to target. Who else can they find is really going to have to be the question. March tanking for inYourdreaM. Throws his body on the line for the president, but he was morphing the wrong way there. And now Boom just waiting for him on the respawn. Gets absolutely annihilated. I don't even think the Earth Splitter went off, but the Natural Order, he just got destroyed. Well, looked like a decent start to the fight, and then all of a sudden they just lose 3 out of nowhere, and now Boom are the ones marching straight down mid. They do have a buyback at least on the Morphling, but and a glyph. They might just have to use it, but I don't even know how they start the fight. There needs to be some kind of a catch, and then I suppose go from there.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Zephyr playing a dangerous game with the positioning.
Radiant's middle
Tier 3 down
tower
already. Tide respawning soon, but even if he respawns, still 80 seconds to go on the Ravage. So I think Boom can still just hang around here. Abed's off trying to grab his Shivas. Quick little shopping trip, and now coming back to the base to try and take this next team fight. It's already been used, and Boom, I think, could easily just back themselves up if they wanted to, but gonna pop the shapeshift and just keep on working. Abed dealing with the mid wave. 8 seconds to go on the Morphling respawn. Can they catch them on the way out here? Zephyr's got the blink. He's looking for it. 4 steps forward, but couldn't quite catch with the frostbite. Well, next Ravage is going to have to do some work for them. Where did the cheese end up? All right, cheese is in the backpack of the Morphling. He's just going for a BKB next. Morphling not having a very fun time in this tournament. I haven't looked up the overall stats, but I feel like he is, between the fact that TNC have lost 2 or 3 times with him and Boom lost yesterday, and I mean, let's not sugarcoat it too much, this is kind of looking like a loss for Among Us currently. Yeah, maybe poor old Waterman is not having the best time. But there's still some potential here for Among Us to bring this one back. But, you know, TA is very stacked. Lycan even now able to get back pretty close into the AC. I doubted this Silver Edge, but the way that Dreamcell with the Silver Edge and the BKB is actually just able to, like, force the Ravage out of the Tide is pretty cool. It does almost make me wonder if Cuckoo needs, like, you don't want to buy this on Tide, but if he almost just needs a Ghost Scepter so that he can buy a little bit more time. But, or even that might not really help all that much. And with no Aegis or anything to be claimed for a little while, I think Boom just grab some more farm. Finish up another round of items, and they don't have any wards down to play around currently. But that might change. They might look to just take over this bottom side, since mid and top are both going to be kind of pushing naturally the whole time. Smoke from Among Us, so they don't really see anything currently. Abed's off on a little bit of a dewarding mission. They do see that Dreamcell is down bottom now, so hoping to find somebody elsewhere on the map, but Boom just moving in to start sieging bottom, it looks like. Not doing anything too crazy. Morph gets the BKB, but we'll see if that's actually going to end up helping him all that much. They really need to kill the Elder Titan in these fights. Feels like KezCute has been able to break things up pretty effectively. And you can't afford to let the Elder Titan get anywhere near your Morphling. The Natural Order is just way too scary. We do have tier 4 items coming out now, so we'll just, We'll show the neutral item tab for a second. Leveler, Prince's Knife for the Radiant. Magic Lamp, Illusionist Cape for the Dire. Pretty good. They've also got a Magic Lamp. Alright. I don't know how happy they are about that, but... Mikoto is eyeing his prey at mid. But... seems like no big rush. You know, they're pushing the net worth advantage. They've got better control over the map currently. They do have the level 25 on the TA as well. That's actually very scary. And Morphling only level 21 currently. Still just going kind of full right-click build. Gonna go for the Satanic next. Very defensive. But, you know, we've seen him had some problems with survivability so far, so I think it makes sense. Zephyr not really able to pop off on the Crystal Maiden in the same way that he was able to on the Lina yesterday. Like, the Lina just gets way more farm. I think probably does a little bit more with the farm. I totally get the Crystal Maiden pick. I think the Arcane Aura has been super useful for the team this game, but just maybe not quite that same level of fight impact as having the Ags Laguna or anything like that. He's trying. You know, he's got this Blink plus Ghost Scepter, so he's really looking for that opportunity when the Ravage comes out to just go blinking in and, you know, hopefully clean up 2 kills or something. Not necessarily so easy in practice. And now Mikoto has a full Daedalus on top of everything else. Oh, God. And with the Meld Bash, he is just going to melt heroes. How many 4 stabs we got? 1 and 2, right? I don't think. Tide's the one with the leveler currently. We got Shaco on the Void Spirit, and Morphling's still rocking this Paladin Sword for now. It does look like we're just going to see another Roshan, really. Ping, Kesku just thinking about it as well. He's like, yeah, Roshan Ping, let's just get that. I don't think they've actually... have they had an Age... oh, they had an Aegis on the Lycan, which actually didn't end up really doing anything, but... so they got the first one. Among Us got the second for all of 15 seconds. Roshan number 3 coming up. If it ends up being a Refresher Shard or something for the Tidehunter, that could easily be the thing that starts to turn this game back around for Among Us. FBZ waiting over here on the bounty runes, just about to spawn, does grab it. March still scouting everybody in the neighborhood. Nobody's even going for these other bounties on the other side of the map. Maybe they'll head over that way now, but I'm feeling confident to move forward. Still has the Yules and the Lotus to use defensively if he gets gone on. And we've got, oh man, another Hex. I haven't even been keeping an eye on FBZ's farm, but he is a Timber, so still going to be soaking up plenty off of the map. And Among Us kind of looking forward. I don't know if they've spotted Dreamacell just yet. They catch a glimpse of him, but they've just tracked up the illusion for now. FBZ comes around the corner. They do see that Hyde is at bottom. They have pretty good intel, but it's just not easy to start the fight. They walk up onto the high ground. Mikoto gonna get jumped on with the immediate ravage. Can they focus him down in time? Can he get the BKB out? He can't. Ahmed with the follow-up lockdown. Among Us just like that. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, they burst down the TA. They get a follow-up kill on the Timbersaw. Roshan's still a minute away. But might even be able to grab that. Neither of these heroes has buyback. Hyde, okay, the flicker is going to help him a little bit. Abed's still chasing, but doesn't have any astral step left. So, inYourdreaM straight over to the pit. There's a free little dust on the ground for whoever wants it. Is anyone going to grab that? All right, probably not. So, well, gotta try and hold out for a moment, I suppose. I don't think they're going to lose too much. They do have Glyph, and they've still got all their tier 2s, but Morph is starting to get pretty scary, and I don't really feel like Lycan is really scaling all that much. Like, sure, he's got the AC, which is nice and everything, but this is starting to get to the point of the game where the Ravage is just so devastating.
Dire structures are
Guess what? Ravage is back up in 80 seconds. So not going to be that much of a window after these guys respawn to actually make any plays. They're scouting the Roche with the Courier, and they do see that there's an Aghanim Scepter there. If they can go and claim it. Tier 3 dead. Fills him up. Hyde looking for the arrow. March once again. Get down, Mr. President. Gonna keep him nice and safe so that they can just clean up this lane of rack. Still 15 seconds to go on those 2 cores, so they can't really take this fight. Dream is still thinking about it. Top racks. Actually, did that just get cleaned up by these catapults? It looks like it may have. So Abed gonna have to go and deal with that damage over there. Who's got buyback? We got a lot of buybacks, folks. And actually, Outpost not going to end up being claimed. March coming over. Sentry down. Hyde's managed to catch him. Should be the first kill to start off this fight. Does he have a buyback? He does. And might be forced into using it. The Courier's already inside of the pit. I don't know where he can position it to avoid it just dying to the TA. But all right, he buys back. And this is now really going to be the fight for the game. Ravage is back up in 20 seconds. So if Boom can claim it before that point, that would be the ideal for them. It's just up to Among Us to see if they can slow this down long enough. Maybe throw some bodies on the line. It's dying pretty quickly. Alright, Aegis, Cheese, and the Aghanims picked up. It's actually the Templar Assassin with the Aghanims. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Maybe gonna come jumping into this fight in a moment. They're focusing under the tide. Cuckoo gonna get 4-stepped. He's up on the cliff. That might be an okay place for him to be, though. Abed fighting this out. The Ravage doesn't connect onto anything. Abed's still going with inYourdreaM, looking very healthy. They have managed to bring down Mikoto the once, and now they continue to turn this fight. KezQ getting sent packing as Hyde now getting auto attack down. Dreamacell just manages the TP out. Why is the Aegis on the Lycan? Is KezQ dead? Yeah, he's tracked. He's gone. Cuckoo and March gonna make quick work of him. They've even got a wave still alive here at mid that they can push with. No buyback for the TA yet again. Dead for 70 seconds. At least there's still tier 2s in both of the other lanes, so they're not gonna lose the lane of racks instantly, but the TA just doesn't seem to be getting the chance to push her buttons. I am shocked that they won that fight so hard, even with the Ravage hitting absolutely nothing. But there you go. I guess the Void Spirit with his Hex and the Morphling are both very, very strong at this point. A high Grundweave will go. A high Grundweave will go. Still 40 seconds to go on the tier respawn. FPZ getting gone on, nuked down. Can he get his spells off? Can he get his items off? No, he's just dead. Dead for 90 seconds. They're not even going to get a full 5-man fight at this point. Among Us, they can't get the last remaining lane of racks, but I don't think it matters. They're just going straight forward onto the tier 4s and not going to get that stomp off from KezQ. inYourdreaM makes quick work of him, and now Hyde also hexed up. Can he escape? Yule's mech, and he's got the magic stick. Should be able to make it back into the fountain. Boom. Just waiting for this TA to respawn. And March has gone back to try and deal with the wave. I don't know. I guess they have to fight. They can't really try and make a rat play. BOTs or anything. Speaking of BOTs, March is picking some up, wants to rejoin his team shortly. 40 seconds to go on the Ravage. Dreamacell coming in. Don't think he really wants to focus on the Tidehunter. He wants Zephyr first, but Abed just forces him away. inYourdreaM getting gone on great 4-step, gets him out of range of the arrow, and now he can just turn around and start man-fighting. Mikoto locked down and dead. Dead for 100 seconds, and with that, Among Us pulling it back from what looked like the jaws of defeat, and we'll be taking this first game.